Hey guys, today we're using this original formula anchor seal to seal these black walnut logs. Hold on. Hold on. You wanna hold that for me? Hold on, I need this. Yeah, I need this. I'm gonna put some of this in there. Watch out. No, here, you hold on to that for me. Watch. Yeah, don't touch it. Now we're just gonna dip our brush in our anchor seal. It's nice and thick. It doesn't really run or anything off the brush, which is nice. And then we're just gonna apply it to our log face here. They say for bigger logs, I believe it was over 25 or somewhere over 20 inches, you should do 2 coatings, let it dry for 15 minutes, and then recoat it again. So I'm gonna do all of these ends here for these 3 logs, and then I'll just come back and do them again. My helper has abandoned me to go exploring. All right, it's been about 20 minutes since I put this on here. Try to get out of the light there, you can see it. I bought the clear kind and it's drying clear. So I'm about ready to put another coat on, but I just wanted to mention that I got some on my fingers and it definitely has a waxy kind of feel to it. Yeah, definitely, it feels kind of like you've rubbed your finger on a candle, I guess. And to do the ends of, well, basically about 6 ends for these logs here, which this is about 20, 25 inches, somewhere in there. And I believe this was 19, so about roughly 22 inches, we'll say on average, 6 22-inch logs. It's taken me about 20 minutes to coat all these, and I would say probably used about a quart. Yeah, I probably filled this up to here 1.5 times, I would say. So I'm gonna go around and do a second coat. It's looking really good. Oh, that's definitely feels waxy. Yeah, feels like you're rubbing a candle. So far, initial impressions are good. Okay, just got done with my second coat. Went way faster. It doesn't soak in nearly as much on the second coat. It just really goes on there nice. So this was about half full. It was filled up to about right there, and I only used about half of this. So I'll probably do a third coat and be able to do a third coat on all 6 ends here. Actually, there's kind of 7 ends because there's a crotch right here. Actually, maybe 8 because there's one down in there that it's hard to reach, but yeah. But I was able to do all of them with probably about 1.5 of these, and I'll probably be able to do a third coat on it as well here in another 5 minutes. All right, so I just wanted to show you guys this. I thought this was interesting. Scrape a little of that with my nail. It's very waxy. So they say it's like a wax-based sealer. It definitely is waxy. So I've got really good feelings about how this is going to work. So under the cleanup section on the directions here, it says to just use hot soapy water to clean up your equipment. I read online a couple guys said that they just let their brush dry out, and then when they use it next time, they let it sit in the anchor seal for a minute and it gets flexible again, or they just take their brush and just kind of wipe it back and forth on the log until the bristles loosen up, which makes sense because it's mostly wax in there, right? So you just kind of break the wax up a little bit, or it dissolves back into the new paint that you pour in there, or sealer that you put in there. So I'm gonna try that out with this brush because it's just an old brush here. But you can use hot soapy water to clean up if you want. All right, it's the next morning. This stuff's pretty nearly fully dried, I assume. So that's what it looks like with the clear stuff. Show you the other ends over here. It's definitely got a waxy type feel to it. I don't want to scratch it off or anything, but you can almost see right here. That's still kind of wet. We did get some rain last night, so maybe that's just water sitting on there actually. I think that is water. Yeah, that's just water from the rain we got last night. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah, it's beating the water off there, which is what you would expect with a wax coating. Okay, it has been 10 days since we sealed these logs with 3 coats of Anchor Seal. As you can see, it's dried very clear. In these spots where it's really thick like this, if you take your nail and dig in there, you can kind of see some of that wax. It's pretty hard, which is good. I feel like that's gonna make it seal in there a lot better. The brush I've had with the lid on in this yogurt container here, and the brush is still fairly wet and damp. Some of that stuff down in there is a little bit drier, but it's overall still pretty wet. So I feel like storing it like this is pretty convenient and effective. Online I did read that if it dries out a little bit, if you pour some new Anchor Seal in there, it'll absorb that wax and you won't have that dry stuff. I did have one spot over here where I feel like the coats I put on it were not thick enough, or it's too thin or something, and you can see the checking right here that's starting to form. However, down here where the Anchor Seal is nice and thick, there's no new checking that I can see really. It looks like it's been doing its job. And so it's kind of interesting that this one spot here, you can see where it's a lot thinner. There's not as much Anchor Seal on here. It definitely has these cracks and stuff right here. So the Anchor Seal is absolutely doing its job. I'm gonna put a couple coats on this later to try to seal that up. But all the spots that we sealed are looking pretty good. You kind of see like the wax kind of pushing out of these spots here. That's interesting. I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe because these were cracks that had already formed, there was wax in there, and then as the moisture is moving out, the wood swelled back up and kind of pinched the wax out. That's going to be my guess. Which shows again the effectiveness of the product, that it's actually holding the moisture in there. So I'm so far very much a fan. I almost just used latex paint, but I'm glad that I bought the Anchor Seal. So I hope you found this video interesting and helpful. If you did, hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button down there. We're going to do a lot of sawmilling and stuff like this. So if you like it, hit subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a good one.